Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching eISL powered by Coca-Cola. Of course, before we get started with the event, a huge shout out to our sponsors. Starting off with our associate sponsors, Hero Esports Partners, Nordwind Gaming, and our platform partners, PlayStation, for making this event happen. So we did have a first encounter where we did see Bengaluru FC walking off with a win, and joining along with me, as always, is going to be Azim. So Azim, this encounter, it's an encounter in the two certain clubs that we have. We've got Hyderabad FC going up against Chennaiyin FC, who seem to have gotten back to their old form.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a tale of two clubs with, same parts of the country, but contrasting fortunes in the eISL. Let's quickly take you through the tournament format. This is sort of starting from scratch again. This was also the second game that we casted on when the tournament started, and the second game of today as well. We are in the league stages, culminating 13th of March, 3 games per match, 2 1v1s and 1 co-op. The top 4 teams, of which Chennaiyin FC very much into that battle, will make it to the finals, and then the winning team is going to fight it out to represent India in the FGS 2022.
Oh, and that's huge, right? Getting a chance to represent your country at the biggest stage of them all that could exist in FIFA. I mean, that's an honor, and you've got to earn it, right? The golden ticket, and the way you're earning it, well, I mean, I really do not. I'm not a huge fan of it because you have to go against your partners. But yeah, this is the world, and you've got to be the best to survive and walk through. But this is the money that also comes along with getting to FGS, the first position, getting 15 lakh rupees, and so on. It reduces, and for the MVP, Azim, for our new viewers out there, it's 4 lakh rupees. Now, that's huge as well.
Yeah, and a guy who's really staking his claim for that MVP spot, as we did see yesterday, is a certain Saransh Jain, who is absolutely smashed his opposition yesterday. It's a huge victory. I believe it was 6-0 by the end of it. So let's take a quick look at the leaderboard and see what the impact of our recent results has been. We see Chennaiyin FC right on top. Hyderabad FC, of course, sitting on 6 points, so they can't gain any positions. But crucially, they have 2 games in hand over Kerala Blasters and Jamshedpur and Bengaluru as well. So if they get on a winning run right now, they could be just about getting themselves into the mix for that top 4 battle. It's a long shot, but if they find some form, them and Odisha FC, both of them, they could be in the mix for that battle for the top 4.
To be honest, Odisha FC have been getting really good vibes from them. Both the players, the way they've been stepping up lately.
Yep.
I think if they, from the new year, they've been in a very good flow. But yeah, getting back to the teams in hand, Hyderabad FC again. Now, this is a matchup that we're seeing for the second time, right? Before that, let's take a look at the schedule. If we see any change in the order. So Saransh Jain going up against Adi Zima, and Naveen against DK. Quite a same matchup, that happened last time. And however, the results were quite unusual, right? It was a draw with Naveen and DK. Saransh, however, managed to edge past Adi Zima, and even during their co-op, the last time they met, it was still a draw. So it was a very narrow victory for Chennaiyin FC. But again, considering that was the opening day, a lot has changed, right? Saransh has realized that he's taking a lot of pressure for being the best team in the eISL, and he just says, chuck it all. I'm going to play my own game. I'm going to try and be my own self, the Saransh that everybody fears, right? The name itself should tremble the opponent. That is what he considers. And this time quite unusual that he's the first one going in, and instead Naveen would be coming in to play at the second game. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I think a bit of mind games over there. Maybe they were expecting that DK would take the first game and Adizima would go second, as has been the norm. But both teams deciding to mix it up. So we have the same fixtures as last time. Of course, not going to complain about that. Saransh, Adizima, of course, unstoppable force, immovable object. Adizima, very, very solid defensive player. Hyderabad FC, not a very high goal scoring team, but look at the contrast. Almost double the goals scored for Chennaiyin FC. DK also recently has managed to find a little bit of form. So it could be, it's not a foregone conclusion this game. We could see a little bit of an upset. We saw Bindratej hold Naveen to a draw yesterday as well. So if Adizima can just hold on and not lose the game against Saranch, I think anything is possible.
Oh yeah, anything is definitely possible over here. But again, these two players, we know, they're big names in the circuit, especially Adi Zima, having seen him play in a lot of tournaments, and Saransh, he's just way too famous, right? So again, two amazing players. We've seen them in past tournaments as well. Has always been a delightful encounter. And the first time they went off against each other, I think Saransh just managed to edge past with just one goal. Again, Adi Zima, he's also evolved through the tournament. He's had some pretty good games. We've seen an aggressive side of him lately. But every time Saransh comes playing in, he always used to be burdened with some pressure, right? Some sort of
Yeah.
pressure, and he could not really show his natural A game. But this time, I'm hoping that he's gonna start building up this momentum because yesterday he went up against KT and took him for a joyride. But today
Yeah.
against Adizima, no, it's not going to be that easy because if you're scoring one goal, even if you're trying to, Adizima and his defense, we've heard a lot of it, we've seen a lot of it. So I am anticipating this to be a very close encounter.
Yeah, it definitely should be, and as neutrals, of course, as casters, we would hope it is. We do obviously we love to see Saransh at his flowing best, but we do want to see all the best players in this tournament getting the best level of competition that they can. Looks like Saransh has outsourced his team selection to Naveen currently, and looks like Naveen is well setting up the console for him. But yeah, we're just a few minutes away from kickoff. It is, of course, a high pressure game for both teams. For Chennai and FC, of course, it's a chance to consolidate on that lead, to extend that lead a little bit further. Yes, SC's Bengal will have a few games in hand on them to to claw back that deficit, and you wouldn't put your money against them clawing back that deficit because they've been supreme in recent weeks. And just yesterday, in fact, we saw Ankit Gupta putting on an absolute masterclass again. Saranch over there, that skill level 21-10. We are seeing actually a few players with a higher skill level than Saranch now. So obviously, a lot of the players all in that bubble, all in their hotels, putting in that grind. Arizima, of course, elite division player. So you can see goal scoring not necessarily his forte. He's averaging about 1.6, 1.7 goals per game. Saransh now suddenly after that last game, his goal figures have jumped up a lot, and we are going to see that free-flowing Saransh, the guy who just does not care, the guy who just wants to play the game, and the guy we're used to seeing in a lot of LAN events, the guy who just goes out and thrashes the opposition 5 or 6 or 7 nil. And Fadizima, very very stern test in progress.
Yeah, I mean, Atisima, the way he's been playing, of course, he could do better. And the same went for Saranch, right? Now he's got his chance. He's made a good recovery. I think Adizima can do the same as well. Now, more interestingly, I'm kind of sort of more excited today for the second game because Naveen and DK, that is the game I'm really waiting for because I'm yet to see both of them making a comeback. Because Naveen has been going through a bad time lately. Yesterday, especially that draw, he's been creating so many chances, but his clinical nature was sort of missing. Now, Naveen is one of the most explosive players we've seen in the eISL, and it sort of breaks my heart, to see him in such a condition. So today would definitely be a comeback day for him, and the same goes with DK. Very passionate player, always tries to get inside the game, tries to win it, but something or the other goes wrong with him, and sort of takes me back to what Ankit Gupta said. DK के साथ ऐसा ही होता है.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a little sad. But again, DK would want to turn would want Ankit Gupta to eat his words up. And how does he do that? Just by winning a game. But as you can take a look at statistics, of course, 11 games played, 27 goals scored. This is still, I would say, not the right reflection of how deadly Saranch can really be.
Yeah, and I mean, considering, I mean, Chennai and FC, they're sitting at the top of the table, and Saranch has just about started to hit his form going into the second half of the league stage. So it's an ominous sign for all the other teams around them that one of the best players in the game is just now starting to hit his stride and find his confidence. And it is now, as we see in the background, the chair is being moved forward. It is time to get going. Adizima, there will be a bit of nerves for him, but he is a very confident player. He believes in his ability. Saranj, of course, the guy who really gets into that screen when he's playing. Very, very serious while the game is on. No emotions, no smiling, just complete intensity. For a guy who takes, of course, his FIFA very, very seriously. He has won all forms of tournaments, whether in India, whether in Asia, uh, widely renowned as one of the top players in the Southeast Asian region. So it's a tough ask for Adizima. He has held Saranch to. I think just about lost the game
Yeah,
against Saranch
it
last
was
time
2-1.
out, and yeah, it was 2-1. And even in the co-op game, if I remember correctly, Chennaiyin FC stole it with pretty much the last kick of the game to get the draw and then thereby get the three
Right.
points. So for Hyderabad, they'll feel confident. They'll know that they've gone up against this opposition before and almost escaped with something. And they'll be looking to sort of take that next step at this time
Yeah,
and get all 3 points.
of course, but then again, when you add along with things, we've got to consider now we've almost reached that halfway market, right? They're going up against each other again, and they've matured, right? Through the times we've seen Naveen being one of my favorites in the eISL. He always tends to impress us with the way he's been playing that attacking style that he possesses. And
Yeah.
Sharanch, he'd been kind of playing. On the sidelines a little bit, considering how explosive Naveen was. But now he's taken things into his own hand. So, Azim, a lot has changed over here. But for Adi, um, today would be a true test of how good he is defensively. Because, if you want, if he's made big claims, right? He considers himself to be defensively one of the strongest in India. Now, I think Saranch is the perfect fit, the right opponent you would want to go up against. To prove your mettle out there to the audience and to everyone, right? So he's got a lot to prove. Now we've got to see how this really turns around. But for our viewers out there, of course, we're making sure that the game starts off fairly, everything is in check, and there you have it. There you have it. The match just about to get started. But before that, a few little tweaks here and there in terms of their formation, in terms of their players. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, can't wait to get this kicked off. It's quite interesting though. Ever since we had that interview with Azima, where he said that I consider myself one of the best defensive players in India, he hasn't kept a clean sheet since then. So I think maybe having haunted by his own words, as we finally kicked off against it's the Islanders against the men in black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Here we go. It is Joao Cancelo at the right back position for Saranch, going with. Think the same formation and the same strategy that we saw from him yesterday. Let's see what he does immediately on the front foot and immediately pressed and gives the ball. That was very, very close, just about surviving the Adizima. Going with the tried and tested, he's going with, I do think that is Matthias in midfield. Not much changing for him. I don't think he's going with any of the new meta players. And there immediately finds Cruyff inside there. He's got the runner
Oh,
with Ronaldo. He's got Mbappe there as well. Goes for the shot, blocked by Saranch. Very, very fast start. Both teams immediately getting on the front foot, trying to get that goal. And yes, it is all about momentum this game. It's about getting that first goal, that first strike, that first opportunity, and really getting a psychological edge over your opponent.
oh yeah, and Chennai FC. This is a typical Saranch, right? He's just playing around now. That could be a good pass onto Witz Gullit. Instead, passes it back to Witz Ronaldo. He's got some room and space. He takes
Ooh.
a shot, and there you go. Not even 10 minutes have passed, and Saranch looks to have entered the party in style as he manages to score one up, and the Chennai FC fans, they're gonna be beaming with pride. Wow, what an opening! And all right, I mean, Nazim, talk about defenses. It was all out in the open.
Yeah, it just, I think even Saranch will be surprised by the amount of space he got over there. For Hyderabad FC, also, it's been a while since they've been in the studio, in the live LAN environment. So maybe just like we saw with Varsi, it's going to take him a bit of time. That's a great ball in behind. He gets that first touch right. Just a little heavy with the first touch. Goes for the shot, saved by Van der Sar, and it will be a goal kick. That first touch there was so, so crucial. There's a shake of the head from Saranch. He knows that he got caught out over there. And Saranch, that is weakness in his game that we saw Imad from Northeast United FC exploit time and again when he absolutely thrashed Saranj in their game, which is that he keeps trying to get that ball in behind over the top, because when your defense is so high, it leaves massive, massive gaps at the back. And you're going to see that time and again from Adizima, where he's going to be looking to play that lofted through ball in behind the defense and get Pele or Ronaldo or Mbappe in, just like we saw over there.
Oh yeah, and as the game has been progressing, Azim, it's Saranj trying to apply that extra bit of pressure every single time. Adizima, he's got to do some sort of miracles to sort of get back in, because this is an indication of the storm that's about to hit him, right? And the class that Adizima possesses, he can definitely come back. He's been making those tiny little sparks, but he's gonna burn, right, if he has to go up against the mighty Saranj. But for now, I mean, not a lot happening, just some midfield control we're getting
Oh,
to see. Now that could have been a good steal.
almost a good steal. But what I will say for Adizima, it's not going to fluster him. I mean, we did see a complete collapse yesterday from, and indeed today from KT Dillon for 80 kmb. But Adi is a very, very calm, composed guy. If he goes one goal down, two goals down, it's not going to bother him. He has immense confidence in himself to get back. We do see Messi with Saranch over here. Let's see if he is going to be one of those guys who goes for that chop back finesse shot, which I do think, as per our discussion with Sagnik from Bengaluru FC today, that it's something that if you're playing Ultimate Team,
Yeah.
well, enjoy it while you can, enjoy the exploit while you can, because it's quite certain that that little move will be patched out soon. So we may see. I'm sure we'll see a few players use it, maybe in desperate situations when they really, really need to, because it's almost like that corner routine that we have been seeing, right? The corner just played out the cross into either Gullit or Marquinhos, and suddenly it's all over.
Yeah, and I think that's going to happen pretty soon. And till then, of course, if you're earning those extra few points, get on the bandwagon, right? It's out there for almost everybody. You forgot all the players. All you've got to do is get to that position and try to go for it. But now, for where we really stand, it's of course 32 minutes passed by. Chennai FC still have that one goal lead up against Hyderabad, who seem to have been keeping the ball for quite some time. And Suranj, he's just waiting for Adizima to try and press a little deep. And
Oh
this could be a
yes.
good potential chance. And there it comes. You just can't leave the boys from Hyderabad FC lagging behind. And there you have it. Adizima took all the time in the world to build this one up and finally managed to score. And there is the equalizer we've been yearning for.
Yeah, and I think this is very, very good tactical cerebral play from Adizima, because what he did, if you've paid attention to how he's really been setting up Saranj for this goal, he's played a few of those long balls in behind and sort of forced Saranj to drop his defense back a little bit. And when that happens, Saranj cannot defend the way he likes to, which is to defend from the front. He wants to be pressing that ball constantly. That's allowed Adizima more control of possession. He's been able to pass the ball around outside that penalty box and finally get his reward for it. So excellent tactical work there from Adizima. And yes, we do keep saying that it's a video game, and of course, how tactical can it be? How real can it be? But that is the reality of it. That if you get your football knowledge and your tactics right, you can make it count. Over there, Rio Ferdinand in defense, getting the job done. Quite interesting though that Marquinhos, who was the number one pick for all the players,
Yeah.
pretty much like he was the most undroppable player through the first half of the eISL. Suddenly, 2 weeks on, nowhere to be seen.
And what could be the potential reason, Azim, according to you?
I do think that maybe it's the Rio Ferdinand card, the emergence of that new card, which probably is a bit superior, because I would have thought Marquinhos was in the team of the year, so his card would in fact have been upgraded. So I'm not quite sure why the players are not going for that. Maybe it's to do with the the team chemistry or something like that. So let's see. Maybe we can ask one of the players when we get an interview with.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely would want to. But for now, I mean, this is just the perfect way to end the first half for all our viewers, right? I mean, who loves a one-sided game, right? We want action, and when you're talking about two teams very close to each other geographically, so it has to get really intense, right? Chennai FC score one under 10 minutes, and Adizima coming right after scoring it, leveling things up, kind of takes you back to the first encounter that they had. Saranch edged away with a victory with just that one goal, and that one goal was the decider, was something which earned Chennai FC the first 3 points. But look at the class. Saranch's defense was completely in shambles with this one, and he made no mistake, Adizima, in scoring this one out. So of course, a few order changes that, like we discussed, have been made. Saranch and Adizima usually the ones trying to play second, but today they've started to open things up. Maybe a little bit of a play where Naveen and DK can draw inspiration and perform accordingly. But here we are with the second half in action, and we've got to see how this half pans out.
Yeah, and Adizima clearly now I think wants a little bit more pace, little bit more dribbling ability. So he has brought on Neymar in place of Cruyff at halftime. And Adizima is the kind of player, and I'm sure a lot of the players in the eISL will attest to this fact. He's the kind of player that makes you uncomfortable. He makes you do things that are not in your comfort zone. He figures out what makes you comfortable and then forces you to do the exact opposite. And we've seen him do that against V Sharma. We've seen him do it against Saranch over here. We've seen him do it on a number of occasions with some really, really top opponents. So he knows and understands this game very well. It's now about whether he can capitalize, because he will smell blood over here. He will know that, okay, I've got Saranch thinking, sort of second guessing himself a little bit. Don't want to let him play his natural game as he's been trying to for so long. Want to put that little pressure on him, make him think about it. There you go, 1v1 off the post for Saranch.
Oh.
So unlucky over there. I think Adizima looked like he was beaten, just forced him with a little bit of an acute angle and calm at the back to play it out. Again, Saranch over there, you can see he's always tempted to press high up, but then there's a little alarm bell that rings in his head that, okay, if I do that, he's going to have this ball in behind. Goes for the cross. It is Neymar, the substitute. Brilliantly done there by Adizima. Again, baited Saranch into that press and then hit him right behind where it hurts. And it is 2-1 Hyderabad FC.
Oh my god, there you have it. The lead has been taken. Now the ball is, of course, in Adizima's court. The way he's been playing, the sheer class of this goal, that cross, it was just absolutely a delight to witness. And now the Hyderabadi fans, they're going to be so happy with how this matchup has been going. Now, wake up call for Saranch, who's apparently been silent after scoring that one goal under 10 minutes. Now he's looking really angry, really determined. He needs to score this one somehow. Neymar passing it on towards Vieira. A loose pass, giving the ball away, Azim.
And, giving it straight back. Now we see Neymar, over there, Mbappe. Saranch now is the wounded animal. He's going to be baying for blood. He's going to want to get that goal back as soon as possible. But Adizima does not allow him to play the way he wants to. Oh, that's brilliant off the post again. Surely not, blocked off the line. Still the ball with Saranch. Can he go for it? Saved by Casillas. Oh my goodness, Saranch. How have you not scored there?
I mean, I'm just wondering, of course, thankfully Adizima is wearing his mask, making sure he's safe and sound. But I really wanted to see his expression at that moment, because Saranch, he is not happy with how things have happened. It's not for the first time it's happening in the game, but we're seeing attackers just falling off, and this could be that potential third. But somehow to the rescue, and this second half has just awakened everybody up, and I think we're in for a really gruesome match.
I think what has happened is that there is a magnet that someone has taken. It's broken into two halves. They put one half inside the ball and one half inside Saranch's left post, because that's the only explanation. Oh my goodness! He had the opportunity for the cutback and didn't take it. That could have been curtains for Saranch, but still, now he survives it. He is, of course, a goal down. surviving at one end. This is end-to-end madness happening over here. Two players at the top of their game. Can Saransh finally claw back an equalizer, which you would think, based on play, he deserves?
Yeah, I mean, of course, both the players. I mean, at the same time, you've got to feel it for Adi, right? He's an exceptionally individually gifted player. He's been making those plays. I wouldn't really be surprised if he can see this through on the greener side. But for now, Saransh still, he's going to be persistent in pursuit for that, equalizer at the very least. Because if he loses this one out, it's going to be immense pressure on Naveen yet again. And that's not exactly how the Chennaiyin
Oh,
FC fans
yes.
have anticipated. And this potentially could be lights out or maybe a chip shot. No, goes against it.
No!
How? Adi, how?
Still with him, oh my goodness, it's like the double bluff has happened over there. It looked like all he had to do was just round the keeper or maybe even chip the keeper, and now it's the chance for Saransh. Is he going to let Adizima off the hook over here? Kos finds the pass. Oh my goodness, a backheel clearance from Adizima. This is incredible. And still the ball, it's complete lack of composure over there. He's found the ball in, surely a goal this time, saved by Casillas. The header for Ronaldo, and Saranj has his equalizer. That is absolute madness that we have witnessed right here.
Oh, it takes so much over you, and oh my God. Finally, Mr. Saranj Jain managing to equalize things out. And even Naveen has his hearts just popping out of his mouth. This is such an interesting tie. But yeah, Adi Zima, he was holding on for so long. But now he's going to get back to ground zero and try to score this one out. Look at this. Casillas, those beautiful reflexes, but not just enough to stop the header from Ronaldo from going in.
And is Adizima now going to regret that 1v1? He played
Oh.
that to perfection. The offside trap left Saranj hopelessly exposed. I mean, if you gave any player in the eISL a situation and said, hey, you know what? If I put you with Ronaldo 9 in that situation, would you take it? Would you just accept that invitation to score? All of them would say yes, but Adizima, for some reason, decided to. I'm not sure what he was thinking in that moment. He had 3 or 4 options and maybe just got too much time to think about what he had to do. That's the only explanation I can think of. And now has to be patient, because a win here could have been huge. It would have taken the pressure off DK when he goes up against Naveen. He still has the opportunity to win it.
Oh.
Now he finds Vinicius Jr. in the box, going for the cutback, finds Eusebio. Shot fake, shot cancelled, twisting, turning, now with Neymar in the box. And Saranj wins it back. No, but it's given back again. Neymar goes for the shot, time finish, air shot, still with him, and it is cleared finally by Saranj.
Oh, it's getting so exciting, and it's all boiling up in the final few minutes as Adizima still has that one last attack still remaining. Can he do this with Vinicius Junior? Goes in for the cutback, and he scores, and he's done it at the 90th minute. Oh,
This has just been absolutely pulsating action. Adizima, we thought he had bottled it. We thought he had lost his chance with that one-on-one. But the high press and the pressure on Saranj has finally broken it. And we did say, as the final whistle blows, it is 3-2 to Hyderabad FC. A massive result for Adizima. We
wow.
can't see his expressions behind that mask, but oh my goodness, we can see the sweat on his forehead.
Wow. What a delight this game was just to witness. Adizima take a bow. Wow. This matchup, I mean, Azim, it was absolutely goosebumps right towards the very end. Just in the final chance, when it all mattered, he came out, and Saranj in absolute awe, absolute shock, can't really believe what just happened. And there you have, still pondering, speculating on what he could have done to, maybe see things through. But as a result, Adizima, your victor in this game number 1. But I think we're just getting started, because game number 2 is going to be on its way, and I can't wait.
Oh, it's just, I think this game had absolutely everything. We saw brilliant attack, brilliant defense. We saw a tactical game of chess being played where Adizima, I think, just about winning out that battle. You could see it was a very concerted plan that first he was allowing Saranj to press him and then going for that long ball. And really, that was his game plan. He knew that the first thing that Saranj will do is press the ball, and he was prepared for that. He expected the press, and because of the space being left in midfield and in behind defense due to that press, because of the defensive midfielders coming forward and pressing, it left him the spaces to get in behind. And Saranj, of course, desperately unlucky, hitting that post not once but twice there on the counter attack. Worked that brilliantly. The substitute Neymar coming on, scoring with pretty much his first touch. And at this moment, we thought, okay, Adizima in control. We're going to see an onslaught from Saranj. And boy, we did see that onslaught. Just look at the madness over here. One of the post, shot blocked by the defender, shot saved by the goalkeeper, and finally, just no luck for Saranj.
And Azim, it was just not that once it happened, right? It happened multiple times, but finally, this is where it was a little sigh of relief for Saranj. And just when we were thinking that this, match could end in no man's land, this is the beauty. Oh, at the right moment, and Saranj knew this was done. This was it. And even Adizima, I think Adizima towards the second half had a better half in terms of a matchup against Saranj, right? Because he was creating a lot of chances. There was another opportunity where he could have really scored one goal, but either ways, the results reflecting in his favor. And wow, just wow. And you can see in terms of possession, he had more of the ball. We've got to ask, because after the first half, after that 10-15 minutes, I think it was Adizima who started slowly but surely taking control of the game. And the voice in my head says that he is waiting for us on the other side inside the studio in an exclusive interview. Take a bow, Adi. What a game from your side. How are you feeling right now?
अच्छा लग रहा है एंड कॉन्फिडेंस था गेम से पहले कि आई न्यू कि समहाउ आई कैन विन दिस गेम बट कमिंग टू द गेम आई कंसीडर्ड इट वेरी अर्ली एंड उस टाइम थोड़ा लगा कि इट कुड हैव बीन कि हो सकता है 4-5 गोल खा लूँ अब तो बिकॉज यू नो सरांज ही इज़ अ टॉप
Yeah.
स्कोरर आई थिंक इन द eISL राइट नाउ मतलब in friendlies I played against him many times and I usually lose like 3 and 4 goals. I was very lucky आज आपने देखा गेम में
Yeah.
ऐसा इंस्टेंस अभी I could have gone 3 or 4 goals down.
No, but we did see that Apka actually for me, maybe this is in my head, but I thought tactically you approached this game really, really well. Apka, it seemed like your plan was to let him press you and find that space in behind the defense. And ek do ball you put over the top, and I think that made Saranj just draw back a little bit. So, what was your tactical thinking going into this game?
I knew कि he presses his fullbacks a lot out. I was waiting for him to make that mistakes, and that's what I was relying upon from the minute one. कि हो सकता है I will get one chance and I have to convert that. And the goals I scored, you can see, literally I ran down the wings.
Yeah.
But they were beautiful. I mean, there was again that one chance which really did not go the way you wanted. But again, आपने finally जो बदला होता है, because last time you guys went off against each other, it was just this. It was a similar sort of a storyline, but went into Chennaiyin FC's favor. But आपने अभी अपनी टीम को एक बहुत अच्छी शुरुआत दिला दी. Now, tell us about the second game, DK and the Naveen matchup. जो last time I think ended in a draw.
It ended
So
draw.
is
Yeah.
yeah, so is DK having some plans or some tricks up his sleeve this time against Navi?
You can see in DK is in form. मतलब in last 2 games he
Yes.
won, and I'm very confident कि he can get me a win today, and so that we can approach the third game accordingly.
Yeah, and we are very, very excited to see that kick off. So, all the best to DK, all the best to you for the co op, and yeah, expecting some great
Thank
games
you.
ahead.
Thank you.
All right. So, Of course, he would not really want to spill out his secrets right out in the open, but still gave us some insights. As much as we can say that was a very close game. Yes, of course it was, but it was a very tactical game, just like how Mr. Adi Zima wants to play it around. So, again, Saransh would be a little disappointed because yesterday going up against KT, having scored so many goals, I really thought that this would go in his way, and rightfully so. Even Adi mentioned, right, after conceding that first goal, you sort of kind of get a little demotivated because once Saransh starts steamrolling, he's really difficult to stop. But more than that, now he's gonna play side fiddle. He's gonna be on the sidelines as Naveen. He's gonna be taking the center stage, and well, he's been under the weather lately, Azim, and this could be his game of comeback when he's going up against a player who's evenly skilled, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be DK, who's in a really good form.
DK finally finding his form, but I mean, you look at the contrasting tournament that they've had. Naveen absolutely running away with it in terms of goals scored. 27 goals scored in 11 matches. DK, for him, not quite happened so much until like the last couple of games where he's finally started. The luck has been turning, and his opponents have started to have a little bit of bad luck. But goes up, as we said, against an opponent who is very, very well matched with. The difference really for DK at the start of the season has been confidence, and we've seen that when you're not confident, when you go into the game with a little lack of belief, things suddenly start to subtly go wrong against you. But now DK will be approaching these games with positivity. He knows that he has a result to back him up. Adizima has got the win, and if he can get the win against Naveen, that's 3 points in the bag. If he just doesn't lose to Naveen, that still guarantees them at least 1 point. So it's a great position to be in right now, and looks like that gamble of putting Adizima up top to face the music has paid off for Hyderabad FC.
Yeah, and again, after this win, if DK can also get out the draw out of this fixture, then that's still gonna help them out, right? Because in terms of how they're in the co-op, I think both the teams are pretty much balanced. Again, we haven't seen so much out of Chennaiyin FC because they have not yet to resort to a lot of co-op games being the decider, right? But Naveen, we know yesterday against Pindratesh, he was creating so many chances, but was just not, connect. He was just not getting the goals scored, right? That clinical nature was somewhere down the line missing, and he was so frustrated. But today he looks to change things around, and with the kickoff, of course, Chennaiyin FC with that white kit from left to right, they've been maintaining the possession for quite some time over here.
Yeah, and interesting to see a new left back has emerged into the wild. Delane as the left back for Chennaiyin FC. So Naveen clearly been spending some time scouting out players. These are the situations Naveen is so dangerous in. It's about those 1v1s. Can DK survive when Naveen decides to go one-on-one against him, to use those skill moves? For now, DK handling it well, remaining very compact at the back. Looks for the width, finds Neymar Jr. over there. We have Ronaldo holding it up well and almost finding an interesting pass through to Mbappe down the middle. And loose touch over there, heavy touch from Cafu, and the other Cafu just licks in and grabs the ball. So for DK, I think he'll want to start this game with a little bit of possession. You can see Naveen as well pressing those fullbacks very high up the field, and could actually leave the same gaps that Saranch was leaving in behind him. And well, for me personally, I'm happy to have got my tactical analysis spot on for the last game. I was very happy when Adizima sort of confirmed what I was thinking that he was doing. But now we see that Naveen also pressing up very high. DK not quite able to manage the press as well as Adizima was doing. Giving the ball away a bit cheaply, but no harm done. He has his defense all in order. Everyone's where they should be. Now Cafu running down the wings. Naveen is using the fullbacks to get forward a little bit. With Cafu, will he go for a crossover? He looks outside for Vieira. 4-5 players in the box at the moment, but DK gets it. He has the opportunity for a counter-attack over here. Plenty of bodies over. He finds that ball down the right flank, and he does. He's got Pele running down that right wing. Will he look to cross the ball in over here? Slows it down. Oh, looks for Ronaldo, but Desai there in the way.
Oh yeah, that's gonna again. You've got to give props to DK for trying to at least make it happen. He did manage to find the cross, but towards the end he messed up a little bit. But that's fine. But I believe what is more important that he's sort of starting to figure out how Naveen has been trying to play around, and he hasn't really conceded any goals. So that's a positive sign for him. But Naveen just pacing in from the left wing. Will pass it on towards Eusebio. Gullit having the better of the ball, and Ronaldo is going to try and enter in a little too much on the legs. Mbappe, yeah, somewhere down the line, he's going to take the shot. He takes his chance, but directly into the keeper's gloves, going out for a deflection. But the ball's still in play, and this is where Hyderabad FC might look to launch another counter attack.
And again, looking for maybe the wrong pass. I think he's looked for a
Yeah.
couple of passes that were a little unrealistic. Probably best in those situations when you don't have the pass on to just slow it down, wait for support. Of course, it does allow the Chennaiyin FC defense then to settle itself, but at least you still have control of the ball and thereby control of the game, especially at 0-0. I think control of the game is very, very important. And now firing the ball in, another chance. Will Naveen? He's let one slip already. I don't think he's going to be in the mood to let 2 or 3 chances slip. So DK has had one lifeline used up already. I don't think he's going to get too many more. So he needs to keep Naveen out of that box.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's got to start try and do that. And the way this game is, shaping up, I think DK is not really backing off, right? Every single time Naveen tries to go on an attack, he responds back with a counter attack of his own. But for now, someone needs to break the dead, right? It's been 33 minutes. We are yet to look at a goal being scored. But these crucial passes, right? The passes that needs to be made. That is where DK is sort of fumbling, right? That is where
Yeah.
he's got to keep holding on to his nerves. One right pass, and I believe he might score.
Yeah, it's just all about patience, honestly. Once he gets in those situations, he has to move Naveen left and right, really get his defensive shape unsettled, and that's where the passing lanes will emerge from. For now, he's doing a reasonable job. I think, very honestly, I think DK, if you offered him 0-0 at the start of this game, I think he would probably take it. But you do know that he's gonna want to win the game if there is the opportunity to do so. Now finding Neymar, Ronaldo again, you can see the eagerness that DK has to find that final ball in. Where sometimes maybe just a little bit more calmness on the ball, a little bit more composure can create the chance. This time he's worked it well with Mbappe. Again, stopping, slowly looking around, finds the ball into Gullit, will go back to Matthias, now can fire it wide, decides to make the smarter choice again. Definitely better decision making over here. Unfortunately, ran out of room over there. But yeah, the patience and the composure from DK getting better now with every move.
Yeah, and somewhere down the line, it's gonna bear results, right? But for now, I think this could be one of the last few attempts in the first half. But Hyderabad FC having the ball in their courts. All right, just getting stolen away from Naveen. Now, Naveen has to make something out of this because I believe this is the last attack that he can go. But hold on. So the halftime whistle is blown up, and the ball still almost near to where it really started, right? Nothing breaking, the players, and they're still even Steven. And Naveen, he's sort of been looking under the weather. Yesterday, he created a plethora of opportunities and chances, but today we haven't seen much out of him. So, this sort of drags us down to, make this sort of a question, Azim. Don't you think this is where Chennai FC can consider making a few changes in their style of play because I really feel that teams have started reading them and have been trying to keep them at bay.
Yeah, of course, it is one thing to read them and counter them, and the second thing is to actually implement it. In theory, obviously, a lot is possible, but Hyderabad FC are doing a fairly good job of it. And even with DK, I think at the 45-minute mark, he had control of the ball and gave it away very cheaply. I think 3 weeks ago, DK's luck would have been such that Naveen would have capitalized on it and just gone and scored a goal up the other end. But it remains 0-0. He'll be reasonably happy with that. Hasn't created much in terms of scoring opportunities. It's mainly been Naveen doing most of that, and he's okay with that. I think he's totally fine. There you go. I think he's taking a leaf out of Adizima's book and saying, you know what, you want the ball? Come press me. Come and come dance. Let's see if you can get the ball off me.
Oh.
And then when you leave the space, I'm going to find the counter attack. And this is really what his game plan is. He's searching now for Pele, that long ball in behind. lane over there, getting the job done. It is a little high risk the way DK was doing that. I mean, I was like, sure, okay, he's just asking to press, but that was a little too adventurous for my taste. But well, if it works for DK, it works. And now he has to get settled on defense again. Naveen, he's going to take his time, pass that ball around. But you're right, we do need to see a little bit more dynamism, a little bit more adaptability. Like we saw with Ashwin from Mumbai City FC as well yesterday, where he said, you know what, people are telling me I need to take more shots. And that's what I did. And we saw him score so many like wrong foot finishes and doing so many different things. And it seemed like a player transformed just because of a slightly different approach to the game, which the opposition wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, he suddenly started looking like the best FIFA player that I have seen in India right now. You know, so beating the likes of even Charan Jot, the Crusher, who are of course not with us in this tournament. But for now, oh, that could have been a good move. But again, well read and defended off, going off for a counter attack. But still, 60 minutes passed by, and it's still going really end to end, and no one seems to have been coming out on the right side of things. But here, this is a good chance for Naveen. He's got to beat one defender. In fact, faces three in return, and Vieira having no issues in dealing with the situation. And Hyderabad FC now have a chance to go in for an attack of their own.
And there you go again, using the same tactic as Adesima over there, waiting for that fullback to press out, and they're creating the opportunity. Could be a huge moment over there, but just not having the confidence to get that 1v1 right. Wins the ball high up the field, pressing Naveen high over there. Don't want to give him any space to work with, and works that well. Now he'll take his time and build. He's got Matthias in there. Will he look to get Gullit into that box? No, he's going to be patient. That's very nice, and has the opportunity now to find Mbappe. Will he find the cutback? Looking, twisting and turning, finding that shooting opportunity which just is not there for him. And Naveen, these are the situations he needs to capitalize on. When the defense is not set for Chennaiyin FC, needs to work a little bit quicker, which doesn't seem to be doing right now. And it's giving DK enough time to just get his defense in order and block off all the avenues for Chennaiyin FC.
Oh yeah, and DK has done a phenomenal job at keeping Naveen away, right, from sort of trying to score any sort of goals possible. But that's the big question, right? Towards the end phases, someone tends to make that one little mistake, and I think both of them are actually waiting for that moment to come and just go and score, right? Because it's very difficult to maintain the same sort of a level of intensity throughout these couple of minutes, right? One little gap and someone will definitely score is what I'm anticipating. But for now, for all you viewers out there, these two players are so evenly matched that neither of them wants to back off. But we've got to see that who's the better one from the pick, and that could be an absolutely game-changing pass. Just waiting for the right moment, and there you go. DK scoring it out of Vinicius Jr. and at the 72nd minute, Hyderabad FC, they find a goal, and if they can just hold on, Azim, they will not even have to play the third game. I mean, seriously, of course, they will have to play it, but still it'll be 3 points secured for them.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves because it is, of course, DK और DK के साथ बहुत कुछ सारी चीजें होते रहते हैं, as we have established early in the tournament. But really caught Naveen sleeping over there. He made the substitution, suddenly found Vinicius in just acres and acres of space. I think Naveen moving players around to try and defend the throw-in. But you can see the ball played in behind, and he took his chance just there, didn't complicate it, went for that shot across the keeper, and a huge goal for Hyderabad FC. If they can see this out, could be a massive result for them. Let's see if they can. There's just about 20 minutes left to play, so enough time for Chennaiyin FC. They've got Zidane on for Vieira. We also saw Neymar Jr. on for Pele. So clearly a different approach being taken by Naveen, which is what we've sort of said that his game has been crying out for. He needs a different approach, and it does look like he is going to try and force the issue over here. Now he's got Ronaldo over there. For DK, he's defended well so far, but not looked very comfortable in those 1v1 situations. And here with Cruyff, This could be the goal, and it is, and it
Oh.
is. Naveen showing what he's made of, just like he did yesterday against
Oh.
Bindratej. Looked like he didn't have a goal in him for most of the game, and then suddenly, when the chips are down, just goes up and just puts in a goal like it's nothing.
Wow. Just when I was starting to speculate that, Hyderabad FC, they won't have to be playing the third game really seriously. Naveen strikes back. Now the question still arises with both of them scoring those late goals. Now, this is something we did even touch upon, right? Someone is going to make that mistake. And, if you give Naveen this sort of a room over there unchallenged, he's definitely bound to score. With still 12 minutes remaining, I think we can see a conclusive decider to who shall be winning this game. So it's going to get way more exciting. DK, he's confident. He's been getting those past wins lately. He's been looking good. Can he see this through?
Yeah, Naveen is going to be on all-out attack right now. Of course, a draw is not the worst result in the world for Chennaiyin FC. Like overall in the game, if they get 1 point out of this game, they would still be sort of okay with it. So even if this game ends as a draw, I don't think Naveen will be overly disappointed, considering they have the opportunity to try and rectify it in co-op. But of course, he will want to get the win, obviously, for the confidence that it gives. Now with Matthias on the counter-attack, he does look up, finds Pele. Now with Cruyff, just overplayed that pass. He'll be annoyed with himself there. Had a big opportunity for a counter over there. And I think now DK has decided that he's just going to see it out. I just briefly saw him going into attacking support for his midfielders, and he's probably now pulling Gullit back, saying, okay, you know what, you don't need to get into the box anymore. Let's just be solid. Let the front three do their work and let the midfielders all stay back.
Yeah, and at this point, of course, just 6 minutes remaining, and someone has to score a winner. And as the moment gets more intense, Naveen, we've seen him. He's done this in the past. DK, he's always tend to surprise us lately. But this could be a good chance, a good pass given away to which Ronaldo somehow still maintaining possession. But Vieira coming at the right moment, making that tackle. The ball has been stolen. Now DK is on the move. He's got to find the right pass, but can he do it? Just 3 more minutes remaining. Possibly wants to keep the last attack to himself. Takes the time to build it up and wants it to be picture perfect when he goes in for the shot.
Yeah, he did actually have the opportunity to play Pele down on that left flank and decided not to take it purely because he didn't want that turnover of possession to go to Naveen too early. And now this is it. This is the last attack, and he's overcommitted his defender. This could be a huge mistake by DK. If he's allowed to take this shot, surely he will. And twisting, turning, saved by Casillas. Clear the ball, man. Get it out. And it's done. Hyderabad FC survive. They get the draw, and yet another encounter with DK and Naveen. First one was 2-2. This one ends 1-1. And now that guarantees Hyderabad FC 1 point. And now they have to try and see it out and grab all three in the co-op.
Okay. The way it ended, Azim, I think lots of questions in our minds. Wasn't that pass supposed to be given? The through.
Yeah, he really should have passed over there. But I think trying to do the unexpected thing over there, because the DK would have been trying to cover that pass off. He almost did everything right. He went for the shot, did the shot cancel, did the fake. Didn't quite work for him. And there we see 1-1 draw. DK would have had his hopes up early in the game after taking that 1-0 lead that maybe Hyderabad FC had grabbed all 3 points. But now it's almost the exact opposite of what we saw in the first encounter, where Saranj ended up beating Adi Zima, and it was a draw between Naveen and DK.
Yeah.
And we saw Chennaiyin FC steal that victory literally in the last minute of play, with a last-minute cutback goal, Saranj assisting for Naveen, I believe it was. So Hyderabad FC, of course, in the more comfortable position this time. They can afford to, even lose that game, and they still get that 1 point. So going to be very, very interesting to see how they approach it. Chennai, they're approaching it only one way, which is to go all out and grab that win and grab the remaining 1 point that might be available for them.
At this point, the way things have happened over here, of course, Naveen really not happy with how things went out. But again, in the co-op game, this is going to be such a huge blow already, because considering what the position Chennai and FC are in, they can't afford to just take home 1 point with the games getting so exciting. All the remainder of the teams also picking up the pace. Even if they win this game, they take home 1 point, right? So again, this gives Mumbai City FC one of those opportunities to topple them over. SC East Bengal still has two less games played, and now with this one, I think that goes out to three less games played, and they're gonna have such a good time, just taking them over. And if Chennai and FC do not make a comeback really soon, I think this is going to sort of hurt their chances at making it to the top four.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I do believe we're just going to head on into an interview right now. And yeah, we're going to be hearing from the Hyderabad players and what's been happening with them.
Hello, I'm Aditya. I'm 23. I'm from Bhopal and I'm representing Hyderabad FC.
Hi, I'm Darvesh. I'm 22 years old and I'll be representing Hyderabad FC.
मैंने फीफा खेलना छोड़ दिया था. 4 महीने में फीफा बिल्कुल टच नहीं करा था. फिर जैसे ही इतने बड़े टूर्नामेंट की न्यूज़ आई, eISL जो पहली बार हो रहा है इंडिया में विद अ बिग प्राइस पूल लाइक 78 लाख, मुझे लगा यार इसमें तो कम्पीट करना पड़ेगा. आई स्टार्टेड प्रैक्टिसिंग एंड लकीली मैं टॉप 22 प्लेयर्स में आ गया. अब यहाँ आ गया हूँ एंड आई गॉट अ प्लेयर लाइक धरवेश एंड आई होप कि मैं टूर्नामेंट में एटलीस्ट टॉप 4 में आ सकूँ.
And a LAN event after 2 years for FIFA. So I was very excited naturally. तो मेरे को लगा ट्राई करते हैं, and after that I ended up in the top 22 players in the country. So I'm here playing eISL representing Hyderabad FC.
2v2 is a new concept in FIFA competitive this season. बट मैं लास्ट 10 साल से खेल रहा हूँ अपने भाई के साथ, एंड थोड़ा इस एक्सपीरियंस की वजह से मुझको मालूम है द गेम विच आर नॉट गोइंग इन आर फेवर, मेरे और धरवेश के प्ले स्टाइल की वजह से, बिकॉज इट्स टोटली डिफरेंट. मुझको मालूम है थोड़ी बहुत प्रैक्टिस की वजह से हम इम्प्रूव कर लेंगे.
So in 2v2, me and Adi have not had the results we wanted till now, even though we've put out some decent performances. But I believe that is because we've been trying a certain play style which we're going to switch up, and I know we're going to make it work.
The game against Chennai, I feel like we were very unlucky. I was really hoping कि DK will get a result out of it, and हाँ एक draw लेके आ गया. And then the game against Saransh के against मैं बहुत unlucky था. बट Saransh of course है इंडिया का वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्लेयर्स है. बट कोऑप में आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे, हम 3-0 हारते हैं एंड वी समहाउ मैनेज टू चोक इट. बट कोई नहीं, हर बार कुछ सीखने मिलता है. अच्छा हुआ इतना जल्दी फर्स्ट गेम में ऐसा हो गया. अब आई नो कि नेक्स्ट गेम में कभी ऐसा नहीं होगा. 3-0 की लीड तो कभी चोक नहीं करने वाले.
I think the favorite two teams of the tournament currently are, for me personally, FC Goa. They've been very consistent with their co-op performances. Even when they're not doing very good with solo, they eventually clutch it up in co-op. And the other team is SC East Bengal. They've only played 2 games, but they've absolutely smashed all of their results. And I think these two will be the favorites to win.
डार्क हॉर्सेस आई फील लाइक वो हम हैं. बहुत बड़ी लीग है एंड अभी सिर्फ 5 मैचेस हुए हैं और मुझको मालूम है कि हम इवेंचुअली क्लच अप कर ही लेंगे टॉप 4 में आने के लिए. वी हैव प्लेड ओनली 5 गेम्स एंड कम्पेयर टू अदर टीम्स. कुछ टीमों ने ज़्यादा भी खेला हुआ है एंड आई फील लाइक हमने सारी अच्छी टीमों से खेल लिया है. नॉट अच्छी बट प्रॉब्ली टॉप 2 के अगेंस्ट तो खेल ही लिया है. तो एंड द कोऑप हैड बीन द प्रॉब्लम विद अस एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर हम लोग उस पर काम करेंगे एंड जो भी रिजल्ट उसकी वजह से ही आएगी. इवेंचुअली सब लोग कोऑप में ही क्लच कर रहे हैं, तो आई फील लाइक हमें भी करना ही पड़ेगा.
I totally agree with Adi. It's just been 5 games and it's a very long league, 15 more matches to go. And I believe if we take one game at a time, we'll clutch it up.
To all the fans who have been supporting us, and especially Hyderabad fans, thank you for supporting us and please keep supporting us, and I really hope you'll clutch it up.
All right, the final game that decides whether Hyderabad FC walk off with 3 points or just 1. And for even bigger, Chennai FC need to secure this one to actually get a point off and still stay in contention, because if they lose this one, this is going to be such a huge blow, especially considering how they really started off their journey inside the eISL. And later on, we've seen that dip. Yesterday's performance, we really thought that yes, this is exactly the Chennaiyin FC we were sort of missing. But clearly, the players under heavy pressure, Azim.
Yeah, I mean, and just to contrast with what Saransh had said in the last game, that I don't take any pressure anymore. I am my own player. I want to play the way I want to play. But when there's pressure, there's pressure. You feel it. And of course, there was no pressure on him yesterday. Unfortunately, when KT came up, it just wasn't his day at all. But the Hyderabad FC boys have really given it a go. I think Adizima did a fabulous performance against Saransh. Really matched him completely. Like if you looked at the stats of that game, it could really have gone either way. Adizima could have scored more goals as well, and the same with Saransh. So very competitive between them. I think Naveen will feel a little hard done by to not have got the win in the previous game, but DK, of course, riding his luck, and luck is not something that's generally been on his side in this tournament. But we have kicked off. It's 2v2 now, battling really for all 3 points for Hyderabad FC, and battling for that 1 point, which could be very crucial for Chennaiyin FC.
Oh yeah, it is of course going to be very crucial. And with the way things have started off, I'm excited to see what Hyderabad FC can pull out in this game. And right off the bat, I think they're looking really stable, really calm. Just gonna wait and tire out the players possibly over here. Just a little bit of a defensive opening that they can get, and they're gonna strike instantly. But yeah, Kafu has made an entry over there, but the ball has been stolen away. Now this could be a golden opportunity. He goes for the shot, deflection going off. Neymar Jr. In fact, we've got to see who scores, but either ways, Hyderabad FC have taken a very early lead, and all right, this is going to be absolute shocker for all the Chennaiyin FC fans out there.
Yeah, it's just completely its nerves, nothing else over there. You would never expect them to give the ball away so cheaply in the box. And the pressure that Saransh said, as we mentioned, was non-existent last time out. It's on right now. And Hyderabad FC, as things stand, they're en route to take all 3 points, which of course is very important for their season. If they can get on a run of winning right now, they could finally somehow claw themselves back into contention for that top 4 spot. So we did see that Adizima mentioned in his interview earlier as well that he spent a lot of time playing co-op with his brothers, his cousins, and with TK as well, acknowledging that the first half of the season the play style that they were using was not quite working for them, but whatever they're doing now seems to be working. Just about managing to keep that out with a combination of 3 defenders and Casillas. And again, I think we're going to see a similar pattern to the single player games as well, because you know that Saransh really likes to play one way. He really likes to press that ball high, and that's something they've been working on in co-op as well. Just working against, just figuring out how to beat that press. Let them come on, having players in the right positions. Obviously, having one player who's available to pass to, and also at the same time one player who's available to make that run in behind the defense and behind the fullbacks, which has generally been very fruitful for them. We saw all 3 of Adizima's goals coming from the flanks. We saw DK's goal coming from the flank as well. You can see that that's exactly the ball he was going for. This time blocked by the midfielder, but that won't always be the case.
Oh yeah, that definitely won't. And at this point, that's a really good opening, and there goes the shot. It hits the cross. No, it doesn't even make it to the crossbar, just the back pole. Oh, Chennaiyin FC, they're a little bit unlucky over there. Such a beautiful, piercing pass, just cutting off through the defenders. And Azim, it's not just a draw that they can settle up here with. They've got to score a winner. They've got to score more goals, at least take a point off. But Hyderabad FC, likewise, they've got that lead. One more goal, maybe we could see a little bit of a defensive change, or maybe if they could get one more goal on the counter attack, then they're going to keep the balls rolling. But there you have it, Neymar Jr. All right, pressing in very deep, but eventually just halting on, passing it off towards Collett, just losing things down. Ronaldo had a little bit of an opening there, I really felt, but finally goes for the shot. But Casillas comes out with a save out for a corner.
And the message on the Hyderabad FC bench from both players is just calma. Keep it cool, keep it composed. They have been in the co-op game with Chennaiyin FC where they had a pretty healthy lead and then threw it away in the last dying seconds of it. So they will have learned from those mistakes. For now, I have to inform all of our viewers that Chennaiyin FC, in order to get 1 point from the overall match, need to win this particular game. And for Hyderabad FC, a draw will be enough to get all 3 points as he chipped that. Oh my goodness, that would have been phenomenal if it landed in the net, but just a little too high. And well, both teams, you would have to say, going all guns blazing. And I think for Hyderabad FC, it's the right approach to keep attacking, to keep Chennaiyin FC on that back foot, because if you allow them to just control the game, they're going to absolutely run riot, as we saw yesterday against ATKMB. So absolutely the right approach from them. And yeah, they're going to have to keep this up for 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, they definitely will have to, and it's not going to be so easy. But for Chennaiyin FC, right now they are trying to keep things from the right wing. You've got Gullit and Messi and everyone just fighting for the ball out there, and this could be a good potential attack. Messi from the center, he's trying to get it, but Gullit, that huge physical presence over there, making sure the ball goes into that yellow side jersey over here, of course, for Hyderabad. But now, that could be a cheeky steal, but still no real outcomes coming out of it. Just out for a goal kick. There you go. Again, Hyderabad FC. They've been putting up competition over here, right? That does not really feel like the second last team in the eISL. Almost about to secure those 3 points, and if this goes on, that's going to be the case. But like you said, Azim, I completely agree with you. They've got to maintain it throughout, and it's not going to be an easy job, because one little slight opening, and that is where Chennaiyin FC score. But this could be potentially good attack. Ronaldo just passing it through, but the Sali making sure that this attack was stopped right on its tracks.
Nasser Desai over there, one of the legends of the French game, World Cup winner in 1998. Fairly good pick to have. Him and Rio Ferdinand seem to be the new preferred defenders. Lots of players also preferring to have Patrick Vieira in central defense, which is interesting. And again, they're constantly trying to get in behind the fullbacks, because they know that as Chennaiyin FC keep trying to push forward and keep trying to get more bodies in the box, the players who will come at forward will be the fullbacks, Fernandes and Cafu, and that's where they have to find the gaps. But now they've had their own plan executed against them. It's Neymar over there, will surely look for the cutback, and it is saved. It is saved, I think, because the near post was blocked. He went far post, and again, very, very good defense from Hyderabad FC.
Oh God, Hyderabad FC, they're keeping their dreams alive. You know, this one win could change it all for them, be the exact confidence booster. But Vieira, I do not know if that trick move was really necessity, but all right. So there you have it. There you have it. The first half over, and they're still maintaining that 1 goal lead up. All they've got to do is keep it rolling, right? Just the way it is. And one more goal, I think one more goal, and that could be lights out.
Yeah, definitely. And they will be searching for that second goal, because with net lead right now of 2 goals that they currently have, it's still precarious. Chennaiyin FC get one back, suddenly everything becomes nervy, everything becomes a little precarious. So they will want that second goal, although they haven't had too much in terms of attacking opportunity. It's mainly as we expected when Chennaiyin FC creating the big chances. This was the big one for them over there, taking that shot on, of course, plucked out of the skies by Iker Casillas, and few ball rolls to start. I think those aren't showboating. I think it's just a little natural reflex for a lot of players. And we do see Pele on for Vieira, De Bruyne on for Messi, and we see Ibrahimovic on for Pele for Hyderabad FC. So clearly want a little bit more presence up top, maybe a little bit of aerial ability, maybe they want to put some crosses into the box. Cheap giveaway again from Chennaiyin FC. This is very uncharacteristic. Second one they've had this game so far. They were punished for the first one, get away with the second one. And now let's see if those subs can make an impact. We've got Mbappe looking for the run down the line. And of course, one player will need to track the follow-up run from Mbappe. Defending quite well, of course, Hyderabad FC. We do know Adizima is very, very vocal, very, very organized about his defense. But now, can he manage it? Oh my goodness, Casillas over there. And he was talking about that 1v1 saving ability. Clearly, that's paying off over here.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. And, Casillas, the way he's been playing lately has been a favorite pick for all these players out there, and we're going to see more of him definitely in the near foreseeable future. But two Theo Hernandez just going after each other, but this could be a good chance for Chennai FC. Still looking for that equalizer, but Maldini and his heroics we've seen. Even if the goalkeepers fails, he still turns out to be the last line of defense somehow with those long legs out there. But again, Hyderabad FC trying to get into an attack of their own. They're trying to search for Neymar Julian. Yes, that was well found. But from here onwards, where do they go? Who does he pass? Now that's a big question. He's trying to race pass through the right wings. Not really exactly going according to the plan. But yeah, they're still searching. They're still not making any hasty passes, making a build up. The last time they did build a play up, it was a goal. Can they do it again? Now, that's the big question. But stopped at its tracks.
Yeah, very, very cheap giveaway over there. And this is a huge opportunity. Got Ronaldo over there, bringing the keeper forward, trying to bait him into a chip. And again, that last ditch defending for Hyderabad FC. Making a tackle from a very, very difficult angle. It's so tricky to make those. You could easily give away a penalty. And now, on the counter attack, will they look to get a cross into Zlatan? Not quite. Again, I think they are going to take as much time as possible building up each move just to run down that clock as much as they can. Using Ronaldo now on the flank, again keeping it, forcing Chennaiyin to just sort of overextend their defense and create those gaps. Will we see the gap appear now? Ronaldo unfortunately runs out of room, and it is a goal kick to Chennaiyin FC. 25 minutes left. They need to find 2 goals. Oh, the tension is at a peak right now.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. There's no question about it. But Hyderabad FC, they've been holding on, and like you said, right, they're sort of been famous for letting it go, slip past by. So they at least have to get one more goal at this point, and they really do. And for Chennai, yeah, they've got to start off with one because they've been looking to create a multitude of chances. Multiple chances have been created, but towards the final third, they kind of mess things up a little bit. Some things they tend to overthink, they tend to overdo things where things could be absolutely simple. They sort of mess it up. Just like the last game, the last chance that Naveen had created. I really thought that was a goal. But this is a good ball, and this is even better. But no, a long shot and goes away.
Oh my goodness, it looked like they'd worked that counter-attack to perfection, but somehow, for some reason, the Ronaldo 9 in the box just refused to control the ball. I don't know whether I think he thought he didn't want to go for a header and wanted control, but maybe in that situation, the header seemed to be the only option. Another big opportunity goes by. Hyderabad FC not able to take it, and well, Chennaiyin FC not able to capitalize either. They're going to now take their time. I think as we approach that 80-minute mark, we will see a little bit more pragmatism from Hyderabad FC. Even now, eating up seconds and throwing it straight to Chennaiyin FC. That's very, very poor. And a cheap mistake like that could be the difference. He's round the keeper, and can you believe it? They have conceded from their own throw. Is it the curse of Hyderabad FC again? Because now 15 minutes to go. Chennaiyin FC, could they do to them what they did the last time as well and grab that late goal?
I mean, that's a big question over here, because if the outcome is the way it is right now, if nothing has been scored, but again, a very cheap giveaway, Azim, and Chennaiyin FC will have to make something out of this one. They will have to score a winner because that will ensure them that 1 point, but no. Again given away. Now Hyderabad FC.
Now. Still on the counter. Still has the ball to play to Neymar over there. He has in wide open space. Zlatan overplays that. And now it is getting super frantic. Lothar Matthäus picks up the ball. Is he going to be calm about this? He finds Mbappe in the box. He has options available. Looking for that ball to Neymar. Has the turn. Has the shot. And that surely now is the points, all 3 points in the bag for Hyderabad FC, but don't quote me on it just yet.
but for now, at least they can, just hold on, right? I'm pretty sure the players are not celebrating. They know that one little opportunity and Chennai FC will get come back right into it. But for that, time is of the essence, which is not anymore there for in disposal for Chennai FC, because they've got to score two. They have to win in order to secure 1 point. Now, even if an equalizer is scored, still 3 points go into Hyderabad FC, considering that last minute stunning goal from Adi Zima, right? So as things progresses, they've got a discussion going on, and taking a little bit of a breather, what to do next, what are the strategies that they can implement. But on the other side, Naveen and Saransh clearly unhappy with the way they have played today.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you look at it, both goals that we saw, I mean, apart from this one, were born from mistakes by the opposition. We saw Chennai cheaply give the ball away to Hyderabad FC in their box, and they scored, and then Hyderabad just throwing the ball straight to Chennai, and they got their goal. And I think that's something that these two are laughing about as well. They know they've got away with one a little bit of big brain tactics being employed over here. Let's see what they are able to do, and let's see what last ditch changes, if any, are being made by Chennai FC. They will be throwing the kitchen sink now at it. There is Cruyff on for Neymar, obviously just getting some legs in there with the same, of course, shooting and dribbling ability. That incredible pace from Vinicius Junior. Ball falls to Mbappe, falls to Zlatan, falls to Pele. Surely game over. 3-1 Hyderabad FC. Job done. 3 points in the bag, and upward they can go.
Oh yeah, and now this is completely sealed, right? With barely any minutes of play remaining, and even if they score one, that's not going to change the outcome, right? Just 5 minutes to go, and Chennai FC, I think they've accepted defeat. But more than that, it's going to be so horrific for them in terms of how they stand, right? In the overall standings right now, because they're losing their footing, and if this sort of goes on, then like I said, a possibility of them being out of the top four is also out there in the
Yeah.
books. But here again, Chennai FC trying to get maybe a consolation goal for themselves, but goes for an offside.
Yeah, just not quite concentrating at the moment over there. Well, winning the ball back over there. Maybe they still have their consolation goal. Not quite. It's going to go straight to Casillas, who will, I think, now eat up a little bit of time. Oh, goes long, searching for Zlatan, who wins the ball, and looks like Eusebio is onside. Will he definitely go for the chip? He does, and straight into Casillas' hands. It ends 3-1 Hyderabad FC in the co-op game, and by virtue of getting 2 wins in the co-op, and of course with Adi Zima and the draw from DK, they grab all 3 points and the momentum now with the men in black and yellow, although they are wearing nice red and gold jersey today. The momentum is with them, and now they can finally look upwards and start chasing the pack for the top four.
Oh yeah, this is such a interesting progression that Hyderabad FC have made today, right? These 3 points, and their owners, the club would be happy and proud of them. For Chennai FC, from being the absolute favourites to having this slump from which they're still struggling. Because yesterday I thought, they still sort of picked themselves up, after that little long break. But it seems all to be in shambles right now. They've got to do something to make sure that there's no issue happening. But yeah, I think more than Hyderabad FC right now at this point, it meant a lot for Chennai FC to get that 3 point, and they could not secure a single one. And this is going to be a devastating blow for them.
Yeah, and you'd have to say, I think nerves played a big part of it, particularly in the co-op game. That early mistake that was made. Obviously, these two don't seem like the types who would shout and yell at each other. There are teams where we've seen a little bit of bickering and argument on the sidelines, which also can be healthy at times. But these two, I think, just sort of were resigned to it. They did well to get back in, created a couple of chances, of course, benefited from a very poor throw-in for Hyderabad FC, who also had chances. But I think on merit today, there was no real luck involved in any of this. They fully and thoroughly deserved their victory today. And now the other teams as well will be looking at them and getting a bit nervous that, these guys, obviously they're looking to get into the top four themselves. But even if they don't get into the top four, similar to ATKMB, who maybe are not in as good as form, they could create troubles for few of the teams who, just like Chennai and FC, would have thought right now that the top four is a formality, but may need to rethink their strategies when they come up against Hyderabad FC.
Oh yeah, they definitely have to rethink, and they completely have to get back to the drawing board. And like you said, their tactics, right? A lot of teams have started reading it, and they've made sure they've got some countermeasures. So the next time we see Chennai FC in play, we possibly might see something new, or do you think they're just gonna further their play style a little up a bit? Make a few tweaks here and there. Those openings could be blocked off, and still they can win matches maintaining their previous style of play.
I mean, there is going to be some evolution required for sure. I don't think any single play style is sustainable over a long period of time, because yes, we saw initially Northeast United FC figure out how they play and did a very good job and absolutely demolished Chennaiyin FC. And now we've seen Hyderabad FC have a similar kind of impact. So a lot of the teams will be looking at these two teams and being like, okay, you know what, Chennai and FC, we know how to approach the game. Whether we can execute that plan on the day is, of course, a different thing. But we know how it can be done. And finally, we have a look at our scorecard today. Adizima with that key clutch win at the end in the 91st minute, getting the win against Saranch in a fascinating, pulsating game. Naveen slightly unlucky, you would say, to not get the win against DK, but DK held out, rode it out till the end, and then finally a 3-1, which was much closer than the scoreline suggests by the end of it. And let's find out now who the hero of the match is. I wonder, this could be an interesting call because lots of good players today. The hero is Adizima. 3 goals in his game and 2 goals in co-op. I think very, very well deserved.
Yeah, especially, I mean, he became the hero of the match for me the moment he beat Saranch, right? That's such an impressive feat to achieve. Now, everybody looks up to a player like Saranch, and Adizima has been an old competitor, and even Saranch respects him. This kind of a bond that they share, of course, in-game opponents, but outside the game, they're friends, and it's going to be such a relief for Adizima to come out here and beat him, right? This is sort of a revenge game for him, and it meant a lot. And finally, Hyderabad FC, the second time around. The first time, of course, Chennai FC walked off with a victory. The second time around, however, it was more clean for them. Hyderabad FC finally getting their sweet revenge.
Yeah, Hyderabad now can just start looking upwards. Of course, they've got Odisha FC. They don't move up initially any places right now, but they do have Odisha around them as well, who will be in good form as well. And it's really nice now to see. Unfortunately, we thought that ATKMB as well would be finding form and moving up the table, but even positions 9 and 10 now getting into form, getting involved in that battle, and we can see that now reflected in the leaderboard as well.
Yeah.
Where Chennai and FC, of course, remain on top by virtue of the goal difference, which is still quite superior. But one less game played. Mumbai City FC coming up next, and Northeast United FC. The next match is actually a battle for the top, so very, very exciting. And for Hyderabad FC, right down there in 10th place, but game in hand on Kerala Blasters, Jamshedpur and Bengaluru FC could be within 4 points of them. And of course, they have to play all these teams coming up as well. So, and yeah, don't discount Odisha FC as well. 2 games in hand on all these guys. They could be sitting net P6 before you know it.
And more interestingly, look at how it has opened up, right? Chennai FC, they played 12 matches. Now, I think until the 5th spot, I think if all the teams win the remainder of the games, then Chennai FC for the first time, they're going to be thwarted off the top 4. And not a good time, Azim, to be out, right? But still, the matches are yet to be played. And the best part is the teams who are in the bottom half are really stepping it up a notch, right? They know that they've got nothing to lose at this point right now, and they're just putting their bodies on the line and they're winning games, which is really important. Right, so again, I've got a call in my head that we've got a live interview scheduled with the players from the Hyderabad FC. So let's hop in and see who's waiting for us out here. It's our favorite DK, my man. So yeah, finally, badla pura hua. Hyderabad FC wins against Chennai FC. How are you feeling, bro?
Feeling really well. Shout out to Adi for getting me that clutch result first game against Saranch. Of course, Saransh, one of the best players in the South Asia region, but still Adi clutched it up, and that put a lot of pressure off of me. And even in
Yeah,
my game,
yeah.
when I scored, Adi was "It's okay. It's just a one goal lead. Keep your head in the game." And then I conceded. I was starting to get a little frustrated. Adi was like, "It's okay. Draw is also not bad result." He was like really supportive today, so it helped.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, your co-op, I think you guys have been working quite a lot on it, and it's showing you guys were very, very effective in co-op as well. And I think a lot of the tactics that you all used in terms of getting balls in behind were also there in co-op. So was that your game plan as well? That let them press us and we'll hit them on the break?
Actually, about co-op, the more we've practiced, the worse we've played over here. So today we came without practice. We just thought that we'll be playing our instinctive national game, and that helped us because in game we realized that when we don't practice, we've got more creativity. So things don't get
Right.
repetitive in co-op.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately your throw-in was a little too creative because you threw it straight to the opposition for the goal. So maybe
Yeah,
practice
I
the
mean,
set pieces a little.
But
yeah,
regardless,
we'll be working on that.
yeah. But regardless,
Sorry, sorry.
DK, this victory was so important for you guys, and this completely has opened the leaderboards up, right? Now, what's next for you guys? Because now with this win, you've beaten one of the best teams in EIS. A lot of teams fear them. So I think we're looking at a potential top four now.
Can't say anything about it right now. Just focusing at one game at a time and seeing where things go because we know that we've got the potential to beat everyone over here. Everyone has the
Yeah.
potential to beat everyone. It's just about how you play on the day and just focusing on the next game tomorrow against Mumbai.
All right. Well, one game at a time. I think सबको script दिया गया है to say
There's
one game
some
at a time.
script.
But anyway, we'll leave you to it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Congrats on the result and good luck for your next match as well.
Thank you so much.
One game at a time.
I think एक कहीं पे पोस्टर पे लगा देना चाहिए one game at a time and just head along with it. But again, jokes apart, because this tie was so important, right? Especially for Hyderabad FC. Now this has sort of bolstered up their morals. Now the next time these players come in and they have this thing to brag about, right? Not a lot of people
Yeah.
have defeated Chennaiyin FC. Now they've done that, and they were second last. But apart from that, now, with this being said, Chennai FC, they've been looking a little bit shaky, and has been sort of getting worse from them here on out, completely opening up the leaderboards just the way we wanted, because the masala still stays. But that being said, we're finally done with this fixture, ladies and gentlemen. But before we head out, a huge shout out to our sponsors, starting off with, of course, Coca-Cola, then followed by our associate sponsors, Hero, our esports partners, Nordwind Gaming, and our platform partners, PlayStation, for making this event happen. But hold on, we usually have 2 games a day, but this time again we've got 3 for you. We're not done. The show's not over yet. So we'll be hopping on to another stream. We'll see you there. Till then, you guys take care and join us with some popcorns.